Hey, it's Catawolf, and today we're building this bone meal based crop farm for Minecraft, Bedrock and Java editions. This tiny farm is perfect for rapidly getting a lot of wheat, potatoes, carrots and beets. Per hour, this version gets around 56 stacks of wheat, 90 stacks of seeds, beets or beet seeds, or 150 stacks of potatoes or carrots. This other version uses a different clock and is about 2/3 the speed, but you can slow it down even further if you need for a laggy world. This is what I got from running the farm for 5 minutes on each of the crops. To use either farm, you turn it on, then stand here, look at the corner and hold down the right mouse button or whatever you use to plant. By standing here, you'll keep a solid supply of whatever you're planting, and everything else will be collected by these hoppers into the chest. Here's everything you need for the first version. The smooth stone can be any solid block. You can use any hoe. You'll need a big stack of bone meal and whatever crops you want to plant. This is what you need for the second version. Same things apply. The first version is 6 wide, 5 deep, and 3 blocks above the surface, 2 blocks below. And the second version is 5 wide, 7 deep, and the same 3 blocks above and 2 blocks below. So let's go build it. Start by digging a 2x3 hole, and then we'll do this pattern here. Come down here and we want to put a double chest in there. You can put more storage if you like. Hopper into there, hopper into there. Make sure both hoppers are facing towards the chest, and crouch and place a hopper into here. Looking at the central hopper, we want to go one further back and break that out. Put some water in there. Then hoe the one in front of that. Facing this way, we have a dispenser so that its mouth is facing this way. Same thing over here. Crouch and place solid blocks on both of these. Then crouch and looking up to the top, place a dispenser down like this. Put a temporary block behind the water so you can put a piston in there. And you can break the temporary block. Come to the back, and then facing into each of these dispensers, we want to put a hopper so that they look like this. Then a downward facing one into there, and a downward one facing into there. Come up on top, and it doesn't matter whether you do a double chest this way or a double chest that way, or you can do 3 single chests if you prefer. We just want to have storage for our bone meal on top of there. And while we're up here, let's put redstone dust over all 3 blocks. Where you have this hopper, leave a 2 block gap and then place a block in like this. Let's make something that looks like a stone golem might. Break out the middle block, put a torch here, and facing in the same direction, put a repeater and move that to the furthest. Put redstone dust there and it should flash. Now put a lever either here or here and turn it on so that the clock stops flashing. On top of the block above the lever, put redstone dust. Then have a observer facing into that and a solid block behind the observer, so that when you turn this on, the observer sees the redstone dust changing and it double pulses this. The reason we want it double pulsing and firing the dispensers twice, if we have a look over here, plant some seeds, it fires once, it gets certain growth, fire it twice and you see some of the crops grow, and so it'd be fine to harvest there. Fire it 3 times and it all grows. So sometimes you'll need 2 dispensers and sometimes 3. However, I've found in practice, very occasionally the whole thing won't grow. So we double pulse it just to be sure, because you're not going to waste any bone meal if it fires into a crop that's already grown. Come to the back of the farm, and behind here, we're going to put our copper block. Face away from that, we want our comparator. And then looking into that, we have our observer. We're going to have a redstone repeater on 1 tick here, a repeater on 1 tick here, and a solid block there. These repeaters are just so that the piston fires at the correct timing. And we want 2 on 1 tick instead of 1 on 2 ticks, because we don't want to lengthen the pulse. And that's everything done. Fill up these chests with bone meal, then turn on the farm, then stand here, look at the edge and hold down your seeds, and it's going to bone meal it and harvest it all for you. Everything's going to be lovely. For the second version, we start exactly the same. Next to this hopper, leave a 1 block gap and put a temporary block down, and then place a hopper so that it faces this way. Break the temporary block, crouch and place a hopper so that the 2 of them face like this. Comparator this way, both of them facing out of there. Push that into solid blocks. Redstone dust on each of the solid blocks. If you're on Bedrock, put a piston here and a piston here. Or if you're on Java, put a sticky piston here and a sticky piston there. Then put a redstone block on one of these. Now let's turn this steady pulse into a 1 tick pulse. So we put redstone dust here, comparator there, repeater there, and finish off with dust in these 2 spots. Coming to the front of the farm, looking at the redstone block, you want to put an observer so that it is watching that and then firing it into there. And we put a lever on there so we can turn the farm off when we don't need it. In the locked hopper, put 2 items of your choice. Doesn't matter what they are, just as long as there's 2 of them. And if you need to slow it down, put more items in. Then when we turn off this lever, it's going to go like this, and it's going to fire off. See, this is firing a pulse. Just turn that off and put some bone meal in. When you're ready to use the farm, flick the lever, look at the edge, plant your crops, and the dispensers will bone meal it and the piston will break it. I hope you found this useful. Let me know which version you prefer, and I'll see you in the next one.